All right, this guy comes in on Fridays. He is a guy who knows music and movies, the superhero movies, the obscure subtitle movies, what to watch on television. It is a pretty amazing thing, this creature called Michael Snyder. And he comes and goes on a rainbow. A muted rainbow, but a rainbow. He's Michael Snyder, everybody. Hi, Michael Snyder, Culture Blaster.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Kim. Hello, Albert. You guys should be grateful I'm even here. I had to cancel my weekend skydiving date with Jay Leno.
Wow. Come on, he's topical. Michael Snyder with the Jay Leno thing. Just happened.
Speaking of topical, as of last Sunday, the celebration of the Lunar New Year on the Chinese calendar has begun. It's the year of the rabbit. In other words, the hair is apparent. And I don't know, are we supposed to vigorously procreate or just eat lettuce and carrots? I really don't know. But anyway, I want to wish.
Apparently, Albert thinks it's the former, not the latter.
Yeah. I want to wish each and every one of you a happy and prosperous New Year, and get ready. The big annual Chinese New Year parades in San Francisco and Los Angeles are coming, complete with the giant golden dragon, Gumlung, which sounds like a symptom, but is actually the dragon's name. Tomorrow, Saturday, January 28th in Los Angeles is Chinatown, and next Saturday, February 4th in San Francisco's Chinatown. The bunny rules. I love the Chinese New Year parade in both cities, and so I wanted to give them a little love, and particularly after this past weekend's Lunar New Year tragedies. It's a time of renewal and joy. So let's move on.
That's a really great sentiment. Yeah, very, very good. So what do you have for us today, Culture Blaster?
Well, Oscar nominations are out, and I know one thing we can all agree on: mistakes were made. No, anyway, the big one in my book: awarding Oscars. So let's not even go there, and instead talk about.
You're right. You and I agree. It's ridiculous, but they do it. So yeah,
I know. So this weekend, we have some interesting films, and interesting is sort of like damning with faint praise sometimes, but I suppose some wag could offer a 2-word review of the new movie Infinity Pool by just dropping the L from the title, like Infinity Poo, but I am not that wag. I was rather caught up in Infinity Pool, which was written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg, son of the visionary, sometimes hallucinatory filmmaker David Cronenberg.
Wow, and his son is a director? I didn't know that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mark,
what?
The strange fruit has not fallen far from the strange tree, is all I'm going to say about that. There is a very bold concept here. James and M, a failed writer, and his well-off mate are at a fancy seaside resort where they meet an adventurous couple, small-time actress Gabby and her lover, whose invitation to leave the resort for a picnic results in a tragedy. This tragedy leads to the discovery that the country surrounding the resort is an Eastern European totalitarian nightmare where crimes are punished by science-fictional methods and involve big money payoffs and doppelgangers. Soon, the seductive Gabby draws James into a circle of wealthy tourists whose behavior becomes increasingly bizarre, and things go way off the rails for all involved, especially James.
Sounds like a great premise. You like the movie?
Well, Infinity Pool, right? It's challenging and loopy and a little infuriating, but it's fascinating to watch thanks to this mad inspiration of Cronenberg's concept and the commitment of the performers involved, especially Alexander Skarsgård as James and Mia Goth, my horror sweetheart, as Gabby. Watching Goth sink her teeth into like unhinged roles, would-be porn star Maxine in X, frustrated 1918 Texas farm girl Pearl in Pearl, and now Gabby in Infinity Pool has been one of the joys of movie-going for me this past year. And there is such a rich load of weirdness to be mined here, although it gets increasingly disjointed and convoluted. But ultimately, Infinity Pool is an impactful bummer filled with dread and questions of identity and the always welcome skewering of the idle, privileged, amoral, decadent, rich. Infinity Pool is in theaters.
Wow. So in the end, it's a downer, but you kind of, I can't figure out, do you sort of like it? Yeah, you sort of like it. Is what I get.
It's not, it's, there's a phrase about, musique concrète, difficult listening. Infinity Pool is difficult watching, but I thought it was rewarding. And I thought it was, fascinating and, fresh, even though it'll take you.
I like
down
watching.
rabbit
I like
holes.
the idea that I'm watching Cronenberg's son do something that's kind of interesting. I mean, that is anyway. Okay, Infinity Pool. So, what else do you have, Michael Snyder?
There's never
totally
been anything like
Cronenberg's
this.
It's starting to feel like an annual tradition that Jennifer Lopez will be headlining a formula rom-com wherein love and happiness don't come easy, but a happily ever after seems inevitable. Shotgun Wedding is this year's J-Lo joint, coming in the wake of the mediocre and all too unamusing George Clooney, Julia Roberts tropical rom-com Ticket to Paradise. Shotgun Wedding seems tolerable by comparison, but just barely the mediocrity. Anyway, Shotgun Wedding attempts to wed a rom-com to an action movie. I'd suggest an annulment. As suggested earlier, this is essentially a Lopez vehicle with her and likable lunk Josh Duhamel as a couple who are about to be married before family, friends, and one ex-boyfriend at an island resort in the Philippines. To provide more conflict than the usual in-laws or insufferable trope, there are modern-day pirates in the area, and they would be among the worst wedding crashers imaginable. So in order to buy this, you would need more suspension of disbelief than I am capable of, and I am a fan of comic books and superheroes. I'm not saying that you would have to be aiming a shotgun at me to convince me to watch Shotgun Wedding. Well, wait a minute. That is exactly what I'm saying. There are a few funny moments, and the cast is largely a treat to watch. The likes of grin-inducing Cheech Marin as J-Lo's businessman dad, the grande dame of daffy cluelessness, Jennifer Coolidge as Duhamel's mom, and scene thief Darcy Carden from Good Place and Barry is also here, as is Sonia Braga as J-Lo's mom, and Lenny Kravitz as the ex-boyfriend who came to the nuptials. But the script and plotting are klutzy. As much as I admire the voice, a bombshell beauty, and acting skills of Ms. Lopez, who was, for instance, awesome opposite the dapper Clooney in the sexy heist movie Out of Sight, I am no Jenny from the Blockhead, and thus I did not need an hour and 40 minutes of this. One more thing, there is a surprising amount of offhand violence, as in, spoiler alert, dead bodies. In other words, as much as Shotgun Wedding is Shotgun Wedding is couched as a romantic romp with some of these comic situations, but yikes, okay? Anyway, Shotgun Wedding is on Amazon Prime.
You never know where you're going to find romance, Kim. Maybe it's under a dead body in Shotgun.
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay, speaking of disappointing comedies with relationship strife and families in conflict, You People. This is a rom-com about the trials faced by an interracial couple in contemporary Los Angeles when their families and culture clash get in the way. It has some enjoyable moments, but sinks into formula halfway through, diminishing a promising start that's full of verve and wit. Maybe because the primary adversaries in the movie are amongst its assets. Jonah Hill as Ezra Cohen, a corporate drone white hipster who moonlights as a podcaster on racial issues, and Eddie Murphy as his potential father-in-law, Akbar Mohammed, a black Muslim with a deep distrust of whitey, especially if we're talking about a white Jew who wants to marry his daughter, Amira. So essentially, this is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, which, by the way, is a location. It's a location in You People. What else is good about You People? Okay. Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny play Ezra's clueless liberal mom and dad. I like Lauren London as his lady love Amira, Nia Long as Amira's mother, and a passel of cameos, including brief appearances by, get ready, Rhea Perlman, Elliot Gould, Richard Benjamin, Anthony Anderson, Hal Linden, Mike Epps, and from Veep, Matt Walsh. Still, Hill and Murphy carry the enterprise. You People is tightly directed by Kenya Barris, but I wish that the script Barris co-wrote with Hill didn't get so soft and obvious in the final act after such a sharp first half. Still, it does offer a harmonious message in these divisive times. It's in theaters, and as of today, You People is on Netflix. A tentative recommendation for that.
Wow, that's good, because I saw a couple of clips shown on talk shows or whatever, and it looked pretty funny. I have to say, the dialogue seemed funny, and the situation is, as you say, it's Look Who's Coming to Dinner. I mean, it's a very anyway. So the fact that it's a qualified yes. We
have nothing but qualifications today. Wait, I have a blatant.
Where do I see these things? I want to know where I see it.
I've told you, your Wi-Fi connection has prevented you from hearing me saying, as I did seconds ago, in theaters and as of today on Netflix. You People.
I must have.
Do you know who I am? Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things on my mind, Michael. Sorry that I missed the line. I asked you to repeat it. Thank you for not making fun of me.
Okay. As gentle and vivid a portrait of adolescent friendship as you could imagine, here's my big recommendation. Close, one of my top 12 movies of 2022, finally getting theatrical release in places other than New York and Los Angeles. Close mimics cinema verite style as it looks at the lives of two 13-year-old Belgian boys whose devotion to one another is tested by peer pressure and changing interests. When a new school year begins, the shift in the kids' rapport seems subtle at first, only hinting at the heartbreak ahead. With a very painfully intimate point of view and emotional impact, it's no wonder that it won the Grand Jury Prize for director and co-screenwriter Lucas Don't at this past year's Cannes Film Festival. The homoerotic subtext aside, Close is a very powerful look at the sometimes brutal effects of offhand cruelty in the schoolyard and the way cliques can break hearts and create outcasts. It's in theaters. Close is an experience. And shall we wrap up? Let's wrap up with one shorty here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Successfully managing to be an upsetting, nail-biting, and scary real experience, the French thriller Compromat is, and here it comes, based on true events. Mathieu is the head of a branch of the Alliance Française French Language and Culture Organization located in the Siberian city of Irkutsk. His marriage is on shaky grounds, but he's determined to be the best father possible to his beloved daughter. And then he's accused of heinous crimes and becomes the target of Russia's secret police, the FSB, which is the latter-day version of the KGB. As villainous as the Russian bear has now become on the world stage so many years after the fall of communism, Compromat has a topicality and relevance about the country's descent into totalitarianism under Vladimir Putin. The compelling French actor Gilles Lelouch plays Mathieu, whose French elan and liberal attitudes anger the locals and trigger the accusations. Facing prison or worse when the French embassy fails to help him, Mathieu is desperate for a way out, but who can he trust to help free him? Compromat is directed and co-written by Jérôme Salle. Zut alors, Jérôme. You did a good job. It's in French and Russian with English subtitles. Compromat in theaters and also streaming on demand. Compromat.
Oh, I actually am intrigued by that, but why did they arrest him to begin with?
They accuse him of crimes, which I will not detail, so as to not ruin your enjoyment.
So as to not ruin the experience. Thank you. That's very good. Very
exactement, as we say in French, Mark.
Did you like it, Compromat?
Yes. I was. You did a good job. Again, Kim dozing off during the review.
Yeah. Again, this is where we all just we step out for a cigarette. All right, Infinity Pool. He didn't hate. It's the Cronenberg son directed movie. I think I'm going to watch it, although it sounds maybe too disturbing for me. I don't know. But anyway.
It's exciting and twisted. It's just not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Infinity Pool, that's in theaters and also streaming soon?
No, it's in theaters for right now.
In theaters. Shotgun Wedding is the Jennifer Lopez rom-com. that Michael feels is formulaic. It's got Josh Duhamel in it or whatever. He didn't love it. In fact, he kind of what's the opposite of not loving it? That's where Michael is.
I dissed it.
You did. Shotgun Weddings in theaters and also streaming.
No, it's not in theaters. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kim. I'm going to go for these. You People. It's in theaters and on Netflix, and it is Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy. And Michael sort of liked it, but
yeah, I liked it, but it peters out.
It's in theaters and on Netflix. You said, right?
No, it's in theaters and on Netflix.
As opposed to in theaters and on Netflix. Close or Close is your pick of the lot and one of the top 12 of the year, you say.
Yes.
That can be seen where, sir?
In theaters, it's in French with subtitles, or is that Flemish? It's made in Belgium. You never know with the Belgians.
And Compromat is both French and Russian with subtitles, and that can be seen in theaters and streaming on demand. Yes, indeed. We try to help people. We should really release a concordance to you. Wow. I wish we had the ding working today. You have Tom is our sort of designated keeper tracker of the dings in the chat. So he usually does a pretty good job of it. Topicality, a ding word. I'm going back through Tom. Yes, all of these. Verb is a ding word. He's right. Yeah. So convoluted, he says, is a ding word. Doppelganger is a ding word you use. Anyway, thank you, Tom, for keeping track of those. Michael is the best, as Pinky said. Michael, go Niners. Let's make something good happen on Sunday.
I hope so. I'm cheering on the red and the gold. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend and we come out the other side victorious, everybody.
Concordance is a ding word, Tom says. That was truly a ding word. I'll tell you, he also used a French phrase that I thought was dingable also. So you always serve up the dings, Michael. Yes. Find Michael in the Marina Times and across social media as the Culture Blaster. He'll join us next Friday as well. Michael, thank you. He comes and goes on a rainbow.
So long, everybody.
So long, Michael Snyder. Good stuff.